Yo, what's good? It's Yborn back again with another video. We are not playing Until Dawn today, and I'll explain why later. But today I was scrolling through my For You page on YouTube, and I found a video that I thought was pretty interesting that I felt like I could talk about today. You know, do a little class presentation for you all. Now, I've been looking at my future, looking ahead and thinking about what do I want to get done in a year's time. I think it's important to set goals for yourself, and I think a year, you can get a good amount done in a year. Now, me personally, I want to get a hot Asian wife, get another inch on my penis, and get $1 million. It's only three things I want. It's nothing too insane. I think that anybody could really do it. And if you think that anybody could do it, then you're right. And we're going to learn exactly how to do all of those things in this video. Well, or the third thing, the other two, we're still working on that part. Now, the video that we're going to be watching today is Millionaire Goes Homeless to Prove Anyone Can Make $1 Million. Now, whenever I first saw the video, I had two things come to mind. One was tell that to a single mom, and two was I wonder how he makes $1 million being homeless in a year, which now I'm realizing I never said. He set a time limit of 1 year, so that's why I keep saying the 1 year thing. So let's see how he does it. You know, maybe we could learn a thing or two from him.
Today's been really tough. This is my bench right here. Gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
This is Mike Black, the millionaire who went homeless.
All right, saying you went homeless is a little bit exaggerative. All right, he kind of just chose to, right? He's a millionaire and he got bored. All right, that's a very different thing. But now, doing a quick search into who Mike Black actually is, we'll learn that he took some TikTok advice and started drop shipping on eBay whenever he was 16, and then founded a company called Told Media. I couldn't exactly find any information on this company, but apparently it's some sort of like recruitment agency thing, I guess. He's not exactly saving the trees or anything, but you know, what millionaire makes their money doing anything ethical anyway? And it doesn't exactly make it easier to figure out anything about his company considering it's on an unsecured website, which, I mean, you're a millionaire and don't have a decent site. I don't get that, but regardless. I don't know, maybe I just don't understand the ways of our master Mike Black, so teach away.
This is my one pair of clothes that I'm taking with me. I have a cell phone and I have a backpack with camera gear.
So we're clearly not starting off at $0. You have an iPhone and then a bunch of camera shit and a backpack. So I don't know any homeless people that have that personally, but regardless. I mean, at least use like a worse phone, like a old Android or something. Why are you bringing your personal iPhone? I feel like that's a little bit bullshit. And I guarantee he's still got mobile like data and shit like that. He's not just going out there raw using whatever money he gets to use for the mobile data. So I feel like if you can make $1 million, you can figure out how to pay for your data plan. But regardless.
The keys are officially turned in. The project has started. Now I gotta figure out what the f to do.
What Mike didn't know at the time was that this was going to be the toughest year of his life. But why did he decide to do it?
I'm gonna try to panhandle and make a couple bucks. Not worried about food at all. I can go a couple days without eating. Hey, how are you? I was wondering, do you have any like water cups by any chance? Finally, someone nice enough to give me some water.
See, it was the beginning of 2020 and countless people had lost everything. And he wanted to be a living example that you can make a comeback even at your lowest point.
Okay, look, I understand the purpose behind the challenge and everything like that, but in my opinion, just donate. You know what I mean? Why are you doing this bullshit? For me, it gives more the vibe like, hey, poor people, look, if I can do it, then you guys should be able to do it, you know? But you'd already need the entrepreneurship, like, knowledge and everything on how to build a business or, you know, whatever. You'd already need that knowledge prior, right? The whole tone to me just comes off very ignorant and douchey.
But could he really reach $1 million in 12 months again?
Everything I tried didn't work. I did have someone message me on Craigslist that said they'll give me $100 if I let them.
I mean, he got censored, but I'm just gonna assume that he said fuck me. So I guess now he's up $100. So that's cool. Thank you, Mike Black. I'm learning so much from this video already.
I started thinking like, I'm going to be sleeping on the streets a lot longer than I thought. I don't know if I can do this.
Dude, the challenge just started. How are you already contemplating quitting? What the fuck? Like, this isn't a game show or something. This isn't a random challenge that got given to you. You knew what you were already getting into. So how the fuck are you already planning on quitting whenever this was the whole point of the challenge, was being homeless? What? I feel like it's just like purposefully trying to make it so exaggerative. Like, this is the worst thing in the world. Like, yeah, bro, you don't get working water day one. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't get to wipe your ass with $100 bills yet.
All right, so it's 11 o'clock. Didn't make any money.
So he didn't take the $100? What type of fucking financial advice is this?
My bench right here that I'm gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
But there was no going back now. He had publicly committed all over social media, hired an entire production team, and
Now, this is the part that starts to not make any fucking sense to me. Why hire a whole production team for this shit? That makes literally zero sense to me. You could easily just record and edit everything on your phone and then call it a day. This is just proving to me that you couldn't do anything without money. Because without spending thousands of dollars, you can't even record and edit a couple videos for YouTube.
this was about something bigger than just himself.
The goal of the project was to help as many people as possible.
So giving up was never an option.
That statement's gonna be real funny in about 20 minutes or so.
But things took a turn.
Something amazing happened. Out of nowhere, like this kid hit me up and said like, hey man, you can crash here. Offered to drive 30 minutes to pick me up.
Now, this part of the video pisses me off for a number of reasons. First of all, pretty convenient. First day of the challenge, he's already thinking about quitting, and then a magic Mr. Beast guy or whatever the fuck decides to let him live at his house for free. This random homeless dude. A little weird, but now I would believe this if he took that $100. Then I would believe it. The second reason that this pisses me off is the whole point of the challenge that he starts off with nothing. $0, zero place to sleep. This kind of ruins the point of the challenge. How many homeless people do you know? Matter of fact, how many of the people that became homeless from the whole point of the challenge, the COVID people that lost their jobs from COVID, how many of those people do you think got out on the streets and then the next day, not even that, the night of, they had a person on Craigslist offer them to live at their place for free? And the third reason that this pisses me off is because of this right here.
But Mike had to figure out how to get his own place, because Isaac, the guy who helped him on day one and now lived with in the RV, still had no idea about the project and who Mike really was, because he was going undercover as Scott.
Look, I get the purpose, but that's just fucking creepy. All right, you're just giving this dude a fake name. He's letting you live inside of his RV. He does not have to do that shit. And you're just gonna give him a fake name like some creep? This dude thinks that he's doing the greatest act of kindness. He's going on the top of Santa's nice list, but unbeknownst to him, he's just got some bored millionaire living inside of his RV using his water and everything. This is fucking weird. You're not some financial genius, you're a fucking mooch.
So he had to make some money, but this time he had a plan.
What I started doing is just taking ads on Craigslist in the free section, putting it on Facebook Marketplace, and selling it for a profit. I acted as the middleman, handling all the logistics between the buyer and the seller.
Okay, I get it, but you don't gotta do this. I was handling the logistics between the You don't gotta do that shit. Just, you're flipping couches on Facebook Marketplace. Okay, high schoolers do that.
And it worked.
I just sold my first couch for $100.
Sure, you sold a couch. Come on, man. $100, the same amount that you were getting offered earlier for a little bit of a dickin', you know? You're not fooling anybody, or at least not me.
I applied to 10 different jobs in one night, and the next day I woke up and I had 3 interviews.
So did you put Scott down for that too? You have to give them your SSN and your name and your date of birth. They just didn't background check you or anything? Like, they wouldn't have figured out that you were a millionaire? Which, I mean, In all fairness, they probably did know that he was a millionaire. I mean, he got 3 interviews out of 10 applications. Like, with the job economy now, that's like almost unheard of.
So he spent the last $40 he had to join a co-working space where he could use much better computers and start trading time for money. Even if that means working as a
Dude, you are quite literally pushing 40. Get the fuck off of Snapchat.
telemarketer for only $10 an hour.
$25 an hour working for a law firm as a virtual assistant. So I went over to Isaac. I was like, hey, would you be cool with lending me your car? And
Dude, enough with the mooching. How much are you gonna mooch off of this guy? Like, okay, yeah, he does say that he's gonna give him the majority of what he gets from the food deliveries and stuff like that, but it's still fucking ridiculous how much he's mooching. Like, oh my gosh, just wait until you get a fucking used car yourself.
Flip ting. Just left the thrift store. Got all these shirts. You looking for a sugar daddy? Hit me up.
All right, let's not act like you didn't have a sugar dad at the start of the challenge. All right, we all know.
220 bucks.
But still, with all this work, he was barely getting by.
for the first time, my bank actually overdrew.
What the fuck? Bro, how is the whole point of the challenge to get $1 million? You get all these just like random boosts, like fucking Mario mushrooms in the middle of the challenge. Getting to live at some dude's place and using his car and shit. And you get negative money. What the?
I was not expecting this to take this long for me to get out of this situation.
Until things got even worse.
We didn't put this in the footage, but the RV had gotten a cockroach infestation. It was really bad. Imagine trying to sleep in a place where there's cockroaches everywhere. You imagine them crawling on you. Well, one night I looked at my arm, there's a cockroach, just swiped it off, and I sat up. I'm done. I will not live here another week.
You spoiled dick. You shouldn't have gotten 1 day to live there. How the fuck? How are you complaining about this? How, like, what do you think that it would have been like if you were literally homeless? It would be so much worse. Yeah, and I get it. Nobody wants to be around cockroaches. Yeah, they're pretty gross. Dude, the whole point of the challenge was that you were going to be homeless. And you didn't even do that, and you're still complaining.
He just had to get one client for some service that would pay him a few grand.
I don't know, maybe you could try upcharging that dude on Craigslist, you know, 2-for-1 ass blasting gut massage.
I literally just spent all weekend. I sent so many sales proposals.
Until he finally
Pushing 40, by the way.
got someone to pay him for monthly marketing services.
1,500 bucks. Dopamine's just blasting through my head. I have money now.
So he was able to move out of the RV into a small shared room. And to come full circle, now he could finally repay Isaac by helping him sell the RV for $2,000 more than he expected.
I bought a MacBook for him as a thank you present, paid for by my business. I was going to pay for 2 flights to Germany because he really wanted to go to Germany. Just thank him for everything. And then he just stopped responding to my texts.
I wonder why. Maybe it's because he thought he was doing a nice thing for a homeless person that he could relate to, being in a rough financial position. And then he realized that he was getting mooched off by some millionaire guy that was bored. And then you repay him how exactly? Yeah, you help him sell the RV for $2,000 more. Yeah, I get that. It's not like you gave him $2,000. I don't know why he was holding it like he was doing that. But you give him a MacBook and 2 flights to Germany. Did you even pay for, like, living expenses in Germany and like food and whatever for like a vacation, or you just get him to fly? Because normally you'll say like, I got him a paid vacation for Germany, and they stop responding. I don't even think that's what happened. I think he just doesn't understand that not everybody has money, because that's just the vibe that I get from this guy. Like the sort of vibe where it's like, oh, you know, here's the flight to Germany. Oh, you can't pay for it. Like, you know what I mean? But even let's say he was going to pay for it. Is that really enough? I mean, he's the only reason you got through fucking 2 months of this shit, right? Do you know how much of a service that's doing for somebody like that's actually homeless? And for somebody that doesn't have that much money to like if it was somebody that had a house and like a job and everything, they might not care about it. But this guy lives in a RV with cockroaches, and you help him sell his place, yeah, and then you give him a MacBook? That feels like a spit in the face to me. And I wouldn't even say all this, but he's a fucking millionaire, right? Like, you're wiping your ass with the amount of money that it costs to give him that MacBook. And you didn't even give him the $2,000. Like, maybe a better thing would be, like, getting him a nicer RV, right? One without cockroaches in it, right? Something like that. Why a MacBook? Like, this is just, I don't know. It just feels so out of touch for me. And clearly he feels the same because he's not even replying to him over getting some free shit.
And after making some connections with a manufacturer and looking at trends, he decided on a very specific niche, a coffee brand for dog lovers that donates a percentage of profits to saving dogs. But what got in the way was the fact that he had to document everything.
I was spending it 40 to 60 hours a week on production and marketing and running the production team.
Why? Why are you doing that? Well, I thought the whole point of this was to inspire people, not to like, it sounds like this is more of like a return on investment. Like you're looking for money out of this project, which is just, I feel like that already kind of diminishes the point because you're going to be making money throughout the time. It's just wrong on so many levels. I don't even know how to explain. And I already said earlier, he could literally just do like videos on his iPhone and edit shit on CapCut. Like, what do you think that I was doing? I would make videos in my closet, recording everything on my phone, and like it's not that hard. He's acting like he has to do this. He don't have to do this. It would actually feel more realistic if you were taking all the videos on your phone, which seems like on the YouTube that he shows later, that's what he was doing most of the time. So what are these? And he's also doing like these pan shots across like the meetings and everything. And it's just like you're putting more effort into bullshit.
Alone while I was homeless in the beginning of the project. I remember being in meetings with the guys and I'd be like, I haven't eaten today. I don't have money to get back to the RV park. I got to get out of this meeting and you guys have to figure it out because if I don't flip a couch today, I have to sleep at the office.
We need to shoot quick overview. We need to shoot how to. Our animator overseas just quit.
Yeah, probably because they realize this is a bullshit project and you're a fucking weirdo.
You're spending 25 grand a month on production?
$25,000 burned per month on producing the project.
$25,000. And you gave that guy a MacBook?
And marketing it.
Paying for it out of his own pockets.
I only spent 1 hour on my business. This has been a consistent theme. I'm not gonna be able to build $1 million business like that.
How much money have you made so far?
It's underwhelming.
You're making less than minimum wage. You feel like a failure.
Dude, he should feel like a failure. I mean, you're making less than minimum wage, even though you're supposed to be making the big bucks. Like, you're supposed to already kind of have a footing to get $1 million. You're not even anywhere near it. There was a chart earlier showing him where he was at. At day like 58, he only had $3,600 to the $1 million. He's nowhere even close to it. And I haven't been trying to hide it or anything, but I've definitely been trying to minimize my anger because to anybody that's not a millionaire or in a very well position in life, they should not be happy about this. They should be pissed at this guy. Because the underlying message and point of the video, for me at least, is, hey, poor people, if I was in your position, I'd have $1 million. But you know what? I don't even have to be angry because this is just a nice cold splash of water in his face, a nice, wake up call that, you know what? He has it easy. He does. He does have it easy. And if he were to have less money, then he would not be in the position that he's in right now.
I can't be working all these hours. I need to build my business.
Do you feel the pressure of having people look at you, of potentially failing in public? Does that keep you up at night?
I'm so tired.
Apparently not. I mean, look, how much could he really care? I mean, in what, another 8 months or something like that, he'll be out in Aruba sipping margaritas, and he and his boyfriend that he met on Craigslist are gonna end up getting tan lines on their crotches and everything. Like, he could not care less. I mean, at this point, he's just looking for any excuse to get out of the challenge. That or he's in his room writing on a brick wall with a pocket knife, just counting down each day like a prisoner. I mean, it's crazy what public humiliation will do to a person. I mean, he would rather go homeless for another 8 months than just admit and be like, hey, yeah, maybe it was harder than I thought. I fucking quit, and just give up.
I just got word the client decided to, fire us.
He had to get really strategic with his time and money. Either cut expenses to invest more into launching the e-commerce business, or invest money to save more time. For example, by hiring freelancers.
So I'm still working on the homepage, sir.
Jay, you logged 2.5 hours. You said you're gonna log a full day today, dude. We need to get this site up. Oh, God, I've never gotten that pissed. It's starting to get to the point where I'm like, am I in over my head, being able to hit this goal? I don't feel like I'm far enough.
But out of desperation, Mike came up with a brilliant idea. They would not just cut his biggest expense, but might actually make him money.
I am finding a location. Let's say it's $4,000 a month to rent. I'm gonna rent out 4 of the bedrooms for $1,000 a month, so it pays for the place, and then that 5th bedroom I would get for free. That is what I call rent hacking. This is a 4-story place. This is gonna be my room, walk-in closet here. This would be my bathroom. I'd be going from RV park to this. 3 months. Made this like a podcast room or something.
God, you are so fucking white.
Wow, this place is big.
He makes it valuable by setting up this house specifically for like-minded business owners. And because his fake identity, Scott, doesn't have a good credit score, he just found someone to co-sign it.
Sure, bro. He just found a random millionaire that was willing. I mean, it's gonna be a millionaire. I mean, who the fuck else would just take a chance on this random? I mean, this is bullshit. Why am I bothering? This is bullshit. He didn't find somebody to co-sign for some homeless dude on some fucking... I hate this. I'm putting all my energy into this. Like, what do I even say? He's faking it. He didn't find somebody to co-sign this shit.
All right, I got the official lease. How cool is it that I went from living in an RV to this place, rent-free, plus I would make money.
And also, the coffee brand was finally ready to launch.
Oh, we're in business. We got coffee, baby. We got our first coffee order ever. This time, 4 months ago, guys, I was thinking about sleeping on a bench. If you're like, I hate my job, I fucking can't stand my fucking job, quit.
What the fuck? Bro, this is not the message that people are getting from the video, bro. Like, if you don't have some millionaire guy that's willing to sign off on, like, co-sign your fucking rent hack bullshit, if you don't have somebody that's going to let you live in their place for free, if you don't have all these bonuses, and if you don't have the knowledge of a already pre-existing millionaire, then you can't do this. And on top of that, he probably faked most of it anyway. Like, just had, like, his millionaire buddy at, you know, co-sign on it, whatever. He probably did that anyway. So why would anybody get that message from this video? And I'm not saying that nobody can do it. I'm sure there's people that can do it because, you know, if you have the entrepreneurship knowledge and everything like that, you can make things happen like that. But there's nothing in this video that shows that at all. It shows that you have to be incredibly lucky and that this guy's a prick. I don't know.
Save up some money, downsize, quit. Figure out what you want to do.
And with roughly 9 months left, maybe it was still possible to reach the $1 million milestone.
There's a lot of people that have built a company in 9 months, have gotten it to $1 million. I'm healthy, my family's healthy. That's all that matters. On Tuesday, I learned that my dad was officially diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Yeah, no, I'm not even going to say anything about that. That sucks. You know, it's a pretty sad thing that happens. You know, I have a grandpa who also has cancer, but, you know, I'm not going to... You know, I'm not just going to soften up now that he said that. I don't get that. That's not going to happen. But I will not comment on that, you know, sad thing. Sorry that happened. Although I do feel like it's important for me to mention, because it would be dishonest of me not to mention, that this should be a wake-up call to him. Somebody that is actually in the position that he's pretending to be in, that's actually living that life, is having things like that happen. And they don't have the option to just quit and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go back to my millionaire life now and I'm gonna go back to my family and stuff. It should be a real wake-up call to him. And I think it should be a great representation that this challenge is a gross idea. But, you know, sorry that happened.
To me, I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
And here we see where Mike got his unwavering optimism from his dad.
All right, like I said, I'm not going to just soften up. His dad has optimism. He has a giant fucking baby ego, okay? Just got to mention that.
He gets a terminal diagnosis and still considers himself to be the luckiest man in the world. After months of struggling, overcoming homelessness, working 100-hour weeks to run an entire production team, and trying to make $1 million at the same time, now this happened. This was real life now. Mike had a decision to make. Continue the project or quit.
Some things are going to change because I'm going to be moving home to spend time with my dad. We're going to figure it out, you know? This is what happens in life.
This is what happens in life. It happens in the lives of everybody. even people that don't have the option to go back to their family like that. You are incredibly lucky, and I hope you recognize that. And I hope you never do this fucking challenge ever again.
It was like life was testing Mike, whether you could actually be a leader, live by the message of the project, and overcome this adversity.
You get dealt cards, you have to play the hand that you're dealt.
His dad wanted him to continue because now this was actually about more than just making $1 million. It was about living by the values his dad taught him, making the best out of every situation, even in times of struggle.
Well, look, he said it. His dad said it. He wants him to continue. Okay, so there should be no issue necessarily, right? I'm not saying that it's that simple where it's like, okay, well, my dad said I'm gonna do it, so now I'm gonna do it. It's not that simple, right? He obviously has more obligations to want to go back to his family. But considering that, now any choice that he makes to quit or anything is on him, in my book at least.
And it lit a fire inside of him.
And I wrote it down. I wanted 20,000 DMs, people reaching out saying, you impacted my life in a positive way. That's all I wanted.
So could he still reach the $1 million goal now that things got even more challenging?
And I want to make that very, very clear. Like, I don't think I was going to hit it.
Huh? You don't think or you didn't think? I'm just gonna let that slide.
But they had a pretty good plan. Coffee is one of these consumables that people buy again and again if they love your brand. So setting up a monthly subscription would be a game changer. And if they could acquire new customers to try out their products, they might become long-term repeat buyers.
Smile, dance. We put up our first TikTok, and TikTok went semi-viral. Almost 3,200 followers.
Holy shit. What? I think we got our first coffee club subscription.
While I was driving, Etsy order, $34,221. Our ad account got disabled. This is what I do when I'm angry. So I made a list of things I'm grateful for. The first is Mark Zuckerberg.
Is that a joke? Because it wasn't a funny joke, I'll tell you that much. As a matter of fact, I think my dick recoiled about an inch inside of my body, so you set me back about another year. Get it? Because it said it'd take a year.
I'm grateful for big tech. So now I feel better.
This guy is so painfully white.
Things now started moving faster, but that also created more problems. Mike was still juggling way too many things, spending only 5 hours a week on the e-commerce company, trying to squeeze in family time, making content to document the $1 million comeback, and researching cancer to help his dad. So far, he had spent $250,000 on producing the project.
Hey, but how about that MacBook, huh? You want 2 plane tickets, huh? Hey, I could also hook you up with some nice job opportunities. You know, I know a guy on Craigslist.
Project, and the channel still hadn't taken off. His goal to impact 20,000 people seemed impossible, with only a few hundred views per video.
So that was like a layer of stress. Kept having to get the team pumped up. Like, guys, we'll get these views eventually.
God, and he's like laughing about it too. He just wasted all those people's time on working on this bullshit project the entire time with a production team and everything for nothing. And after all this, he starts talking about, and I'm not going to comment on anything health related and stuff like that and be disrespectful in that regard because that's just weird. But he starts talking about how he has a developing tumor in his hip, and he starts talking to his partner and work, I'm pretty sure, asking if he should end the project and everything. And at day 287, nowhere near his goal in mind, he gets a message that quote unquote changes it all. He finds his excuse.
But then he got a message from a stranger that changed everything.
There was a guy towards the end of the project. He reached out. I need to get on a call with you. Gets on the call and he literally just starts crying. And he's like, dude, I was going to kill myself. I came across your content. It just gave me hope.
Look, if this is true, which I'm not even sure about that, then I'm glad. But like, how? Look, and I'm not even saying that because I'm thinking that he's trying to find any real excuse to get out of the challenge, even though I do kind of think that has some weight to it. But he has done so many shady things that it seem fake that I'm not even sure exactly what's true and what's not. So, you know, I'm taking it with a grain of salt is all I'm saying.
That was the best feeling I've ever felt in my entire life.
If he ended it now with only $65,000.
Wow. Oh my gosh. He didn't even get close. And look, that's not even a bad wage necessarily. If he was trying to show that he can reach a livable standpoint, yeah, sure, he did that. But that is nowhere near $1 million. And he also got like a weird amount of help, but sure.
was made, and one person he deeply impacted. Would the project be a failure or a success?
A giant fucking fail. I can answer that for you. A huge fail. Like an obscenely large fail.
I wanted to help people that were struggling get back on their feet and prove that it could be done. A lot of things about this situation suck, but I'm in control of how.
Yeah, I don't need this bullshit. I don't need the big picture shit. You failed, all right? Yeah, so maybe it's not so easy to just, start off at zero and make it big. Maybe life actually is pretty difficult, and maybe the people that don't have that sort of money aren't in that position because they're just a bunch of bubbling idiots and don't know anything. Maybe they're actually just struggling, and maybe the system is rigged against those people. So, he can go fuck himself. So a big sorry about his dad and his health. But at the end of the day, he has a giant ego, and this is a gross video. And I hope that he learned something very valuable from this, because considering the end of the video, it actually shows that he did not learn anything about anything. But anyway, thank you for watching. This video took some time. I'll say it probably doesn't seem exactly like that, but it took longer than it probably should have, because I'm not used to editing and everything on PC. I also have to do most of my recording and voiceovers at night because I don't want background noise from my family or people to disturb me while I'm doing my stuff. So I only have a short window to do these things, making it take a lot more time than it probably should. But yeah, any interaction would be amazing. I would really appreciate it, because this took a good deal of time to make, even if it isn't so impressive. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you if you stuck around till the end. Let me know if you did, and if there's anything that I should improve on, then let me know, because I don't have that much of an ego, unlike some people. Thank you, and if you're offering $100 for a slop top, then let me know. I don't have enough pride to deny a good deal.